the story begins, not just of this one human's life, but the narrative of this family, this community, this culture, even what it means to be human, what it means to experience pain, and what it means to experience joy, and can we hold both in this very same moment.
A huge part of being a conscious human is about our narratives.
It has really proven to me as a birth worker and as a mother and as a woman how our stories just stay with us forever. Down to, what were those sensations? What were the sounds that you heard? Who was holding your hand? Who was talking to you?
My name is Jamie Flares, and I've recently written a book called Birth Your Story, Why Writing About Your Birth Matters. Birth is a powerful rite of passage for women and also for men. It's quite an initiation that brings us from one space, one chapter of our lives, one way of being into another.
We have to completely surrender and take this journey, and you can't predict what's going to happen, and you can't control what's going to happen.
I can't believe it.
Immediately after birth, it took a turn, and Elijah went to the hospital. And when I tell my story to people, that's what people grasp onto and sort of name and label for me. And so my experience of writing my birth story was that I didn't have to respond to how someone else was experiencing my birth journey.
The way that Jamie has compiled this book is that it's real story interwoven with guidance for how to write your story. And the stories too are so different, and the ways that the stories are told and written are so different.
Jamie really empowers you to go deeper into your story than just the first layer of what happened, and really helps to teach you to gain access to those deeper levels if that's what you choose to do.
One of the unique things about writing is that it really gives us a space to explore our experience in a way that simply talking about our stories doesn't. We don't have a filter, we don't have an audience when we write. We're able to write just for ourselves.
It can be a couple paragraphs, it can be 10 pages. I think as long as it's an opportunity and a chance for that woman to sit down and write down what she feels her story is the most important part.
With Jamie's way of going about it, it doesn't have to start at the contraction. For me, it started on a bus ride to Colorado, 2 years before my son was born. I think fathers definitely have a story that's worth telling. What was going on in your life? What was going on in your relationship? What did you have to negotiate at work? What were the stresses on your mind?
Writing down my story really helps me put it into memory so that I can look back on it and reflect on it over and over again. And it was life-changing. Having it in writing, I just feel like for years to come will be so cool to be able to share both of my birth stories with my sons as they grow up. And I was talking to a friend and she started crying just hearing my birth story. It's just cool how your story can affect others in a way that touches them deeply, that they don't even have to be there and they can feel it. And that's how I was when I would read these women's blogs about them writing their birth story. I could feel it and be there with them, and it's really moving.
Part of the reason that I'm launching a Kickstarter and why I'm independently publishing is that I really feel the metaphor in doing things together. When we bring a child into the world, it really takes a village to help raise them. And so in the same spirit with this book, with this creation, I'm calling on others to help support me and to help support the creation of this book that will hopefully help many other people. In supporting this book, you become one of the parents of this book. And in supporting the book, you also are helping others to express the stories of their birth, to come to know the power of their voice and expression of their stories.